I work mainly with the hockey program. As I just mentioned, it's a pretty historic program. It's been around for over 50 years. 52 guys have come through here and made it on to the NHL. We've had two Hobie Baker winners. That's the award for being the top player in college hockey. So there's a lot of tradition here. We've won a national championship. So we have great alumni support. When I first came here a year ago, one of the most impressive things to me was within a month of getting the job, we had the alumni golf outing, and you talk about making connections and building a network, and eventually thinking about your career after school. We had about 128 alumni come back and play in the golf outing. So it's a well supported program by the alumni base. Our rink's right on campus. We practice in the morning. We have a weight room here in the rink, and we also obviously have a varsity weight room that's just for athletics that we use as well. And we're in the process of, I believe next year we'll start a $9 million renovation project to the rink. That will add some luxury boxes and just upgrade some of the seating and lighting and things like that. So there's a ton of positive things going on. We're moving from the WCHA conference back to the CCHA conference, which will be a lot more local travel. So that'll be great for us as well. We feel one of the great things about going to school here at BG is being a part of the athletic program. We're a full Division I athletic program, so all the resources that come with that, as far as the weight room, strength and conditioning program, athletic training, staff members that work with all the athletes, and as well as the academic resources that we have in the library with Dr. Chet Hansen, and the study tables and the student athlete academic lab that our guys have constant access to for support academically has been fantastic, and we're really proud of what we've done academically. Last year we had the top GPA on campus, 3.8 GPA is what our average is, so pretty close to straight A students. So the support that we've had academically to help our guys be successful, not only on the ice but off the ice, has been tremendous.
Thank you, Coach. And how many Canadian students do we have right now on the roster?
Currently we have 9, so almost a third of our team is Canadians. So
all right, great. And I know a few other Canadian students in I think women's tennis has a few.
Yep.
Field has swimming, diving. I want to say gymnastics has one, and women's I think soccer has a couple students as well. So
yeah, correct.
Several students from Canada, I think.
Yes, and we kind of cover it all. We have we have a player from Newfoundland, we have a player from Quebec, a couple from Ontario, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and British Columbia. So we're pretty well spread out throughout the country. And again, you mentioned other programs. Being a student athlete here has been great because of all the interaction with all the other student athletes and the networking, getting to know each other and supporting each other, whether you go to a big football game or a basketball game, or our soccer program has been really successful. So going to watch them in the NCAA tournament and stuff has just been a great addition for our student athletes.
Yep. And one of the things, we had students come in, both our current continuing students and new students that came in from Canada. There are a lot of questions about the border closing because currently, I also just saw on the news today they extended the border closure throughout November, I think.
Yep.
So that's for non-essential travel, but our students are considered essential travelers. So
yes,
traveling from Canada, you're crossing the border with a car. We also had we joined an event with the U.S. Embassy in Ottawa. And they also had a Department of Homeland Security contact over there that actually clarified for many students as well as us. So they basically said, if you're traveling with a car as a student, you're an essential traveler. So you are able to go through the border. And also for air travel. So if you're traveling for any major airport to if you're flying to Detroit, or if you're flying to any Ohio airports like Toledo or Cleveland or Columbus, you are able to travel with your family as well. So it's allowed to come in with air travel. So even though the border closure is extended, that doesn't mean anything there are no limitations for students. So I just wanted to highlight that as well.
Yeah, we had no international student have any issue getting across this year. Even even our new students, our freshmen that had new visas, there was zero issues crossing whatsoever. We actually had a player leave to go home once he got here because he had to go home for a family reason, and he was able to get back a second time with no issue whatsoever with the student visa, so it hasn't been an issue. I think if you're looking to become a varsity athlete or a Division I athlete, there's the NCAA Eligibility Center. You can actually go to ncaa.org, and that'll walk you through the process of the eligibility center, where you have to send them your transcripts and your test scores so they can certify you eligible to play at the Division I level, so you'll be able to handle the athletics and the academics. They oversee it for all college athletics. I think as soon as you can do that, the better. If you are looking to be recruited, even if you don't have your final transcripts, as long as they have something of you, you can start to do visits and things with schools, and you can still be working on your test prior to sending it, but they'll give you a 10-digit ID number. I think that's a big thing to register for them for sure, and get started as soon as you can with that process with the NCAA Eligibility Center.
Mm-hmm. And I wanted to highlight, I think there was a question about the athletic and academic scholarships. So those are separate. So the academic scholarships is separate that you actually receive with your academic qualifications. So those are merit-based, and athletic scholarships will be separate from that. So that's something else on top. So
yeah, and schools do have the ability to merge them, but you need a certain GPA in order to be allowed to do that, which is nice for sports. Sports like basketball and football are obviously handled differently as far as the athletic money goes. Other sports have a limited number of athletic scholarships based on the max set by the NCAA. And for hockey, let's say it's 18, and we carry 27 players. So if we do have students who are really good students coming in, we can take their academic money and merge it with athletic, which saves us partial money out of those scholarships that now we can use for other families as well. So the grades are something that's very important to us when it comes to the recruiting process.
All right. Well,
Great. I have one question. I know a lot of students here ask, how do you properly email coaches? Because they get, some kids get defeated when they email coaches and they don't get a response back. But there's a real reason why, right? And you shouldn't be emotionally drained because a coach didn't get back after one email. We had a coach earlier today who mentioned he has 1,000 emails a week, and he's kind of embarrassed he's not able to get through all of them, right? So what advice do you have, Coach Carr, when it comes to emailing coaches and expectations on that end as well?
Yeah, I think we get inundated with these types of emails, so it is hard to reply to everybody. For me, I think the shorter the better. Kind of say who you are, where you're from, where you're playing. Obviously, if you're playing at a certain level, it'll catch our eye. If you can kind of look at our rosters and see where the players have played prior to getting here, it'll give you an idea of the types of places that we're looking for players. And then if you do have a short video clip that you can put into it, I think would be good as well. And then for me personally, and I think a lot of coaches as well, is depending on the level that you're playing, if a coach is able to reach out either with a phone call on your behalf or an email, I think it says a lot about you when coaches are willing to reach out for you. So I think the emails should just be short, precise, to the point, maybe a little highlight clip. And if you can have a coach or somebody reach out for you as well, I think that helps.
Make sure you're emailing the right coach as well.
Yes. Make sure if you're doing a copy and paste, you change the name of the school and the coach as well when you get those.
We've got another question here from Cheryl. It's how would you start the recruiting process for the hockey team?
Again, I think a lot of it's going to be depending on the level that you're playing. Every sport's a little bit different, but with hockey, we're probably 2 years out. So we're already starting to look for the 2022 class. So most of our guys that we're starting to look at recruiting, they play junior hockey. They're in their senior year of high school, and then they move on and play junior hockey. So again, if you look at our roster, you can kind of see the junior leagues that the guys have come from either the US or all across Canada. So that's the first step, I think, is just putting yourself in the right league where you see people leaving those leagues to go play Division I sports. And then once you're in those leagues, if you send an email or have a coach reach out, I think that helps the process.
Great, and there's a great question from Raymond. I think Ken and even Coach Carr can touch on. So, what's the type of standard and culture can student athletes expect to be part of when they join the athletic program at BG? And I think we can expand on this question and just really speak on a student athlete experience in the institution in general, both academically and athletically as well, and the type of commitments and responsibilities that they will face and how they should prepare for it.
Yeah, so to us, there's three components. There's the academic component, there's the social component as far as being a member of the community and within the school, and the athletic component. And we talk a lot about being the best version of yourself every day. So we try to hold ourselves to the highest standard in the classroom, in the community, and obviously in the athletic field. That's what we talk about. And then we do a lot to try and connect our players as they get close to graduating with alumni in the same field that they're studying in, so that if they're not moving on to play at the professional level, hopefully we're helping them make connections and get them ready for the work environment as well.